guys, today we're going to learn about Colspan and Rowspan. But before entering into the coding part, we should first know what column and row mean. And this time I'm going to use the paint. You open the paint and then I'm going to show you what column and row mean. First you need to draw a box or a rectangle or a table here. And then this time I'm going to show you a tip to easily memorize that. Row is horizontal, so easily you can memorize it by red hood. This means orange. Now you can easily understand what row and column mean. And column is vertical. Now I think you've got the idea. Now let's go to the sketching part. Let's draw it. Here I'm drawing a row this time. This is row 1, this is row 2, and this is row 3. Now I say this a row because this is horizontal, this is horizontal, and this is horizontal. Now you understood about row, right? Yeah. Now let's go to column here. I'm drawing a column in here. This is column 1, this is column 2, and this is column 3. Now I think you have understood what row and column mean. Now I'm going to go to the sketching part. I use this process in order to be effective while using the browser. So before going to the coding, you sketch what kind of table you want on the paint here. It would be easy, really. Here. And the first box, this one, uses Colspan. And the second box here uses Rowspan. Now imagine you've got into the coding part and you open the table tag, and then after opening the table tag you have two rows because this is the first row and this is the second row. The first row has one column, but that column uses Colspan because it would have been 2, right? Here it would have been 2. So we spanned it together, so it became 1. So the first row has one column, but that column uses Colspan, and the second row has 2 columns. Normally 2 columns. Now let's go to the coding part and have fun. Now you open the HTML tag, you close it up, HTML, and then you open the body tag, and then you close the body tag, and then you open the table tag, you close the table tag. But remember, in the table tag it needs some attribute to make it visible. Border, we need border, yeah, because that helps us to make the box visible. Now the second one is width. Now this time we're going to make it 100% here. 100%, and also the height 100%. You may say, what do you use for 100%? It makes it full on your border. It makes the table full. And we're drawing the first table, so we need 2 rows, right? Yeah, we need 2 rows. Now, the first row has how many columns? 1 column. TD, close it up, and then, as I told you, the column uses Colspan. And how many columns do we need to span? 2 columns. Now, the second one, we need 2 columns here. 2 columns. Now let's save it and see what happens. You see? This is the one we sketched. See, you can see it. Now let's go to the Rowspan. We'll go into the paint and talk a little about it. This table has 2 rows too. This is the first row. This one starting from this. This is the first row, and this is the second row. The first row uses Rowspan, and imagine you open the table tag and then you opened 2 rows and go into the first row. When you go into the first row, we have 2 columns, but the first column uses Rowspan, because imagine this would have been 2 rows, right? But now we're spanning the 2 rows together, so we use Rowspan this time. On the first you use Rowspan, and after you opened up the first row and then you write 2 columns here. The first column uses Rowspan, and then let's go to the second row. The second row you just normally write 1 row, because you can't use this as a column, because you know this is already taken by the above. Now I think you've understood. Now let's go to the coding part. Use experimental coding this time. Okay. Now I'm going to delete this. Then we open the table row tag. And then close it up. Then again, we open the table row. We have 2 rows. CR. Now, the first row, it has how many columns? 2 columns. How many columns? 2 columns. Close it. Then again. And then the first row uses what? Rowspan. Rowspan. How many rows do we want to span? 2 rows. Now let's go to the second row. The second row needs only 1 column. And now I think we've finished, and let's go. You see? We got it. Now I think you have understood about Colspan and Rowspan in a brief way. And the next time we're going to talk about other things. But until next time, bye bye.